Hello everybody and welcome back to another Heyday video. Today I am over here on my main farm and I wanted to talk to you about quality of life changes that I would like to see in Heyday. Um, Lately the updates have been kind of the same thing, different day. You know, new machine, new crops, new products, new animals, and honestly it's becoming a little bit boring. And I know that I'm not the only one. I know that there are lots of us in the community who would like to see some quality of life changes brought into the game, as opposed to Heyday continuing to give us these new machines, new crops, new products that we can't keep up with without these quality of life changes. So I thought I would go through today and kind of explain my top 5 quality of life changes that I would like to see in the game. Now, my suggestion for Heyday is to make every second update a quality of life update. So we have updates 4 times a year, approximately every 3 months. So if they made every second update a quality of life update, and the other ones, you know, your usual crops, products, animals, machines, whatever, then I think that would give us more time to get used to those new additions, give us time to save up for what is potentially coming, and give us some time to get used to these new things. I feel like they just keep bombarding us with new things in the game, and it's honestly becoming quite overwhelming, and it's also making the game less enjoyable. I don't know about anyone else, but that's the way that I'm feeling about the game right now. So, anyway, enough rambling. Let's go and I will show you the quality of life changes that I would like to see in the game, most importantly. Now, there are definitely a lot more. There are definitely things that Heyday needs to fix on their end. But these are the things that I think are doable, are achievable, and can definitely be implemented if they really tried. So, the first one is wrong tab. This limit, the expansion upgrade material purchase daily limit. Now, I know why they implemented this whenever it was. It's been like years now that we've had this. I know why they did it, and I think now is the time to get rid of it. If not get rid of it, at least adjust it so that it is more balanced for players according to their levels, because I need for my barn 74 of each. With a daily limit of 80, that's not going to get me anywhere. So either they can just scrap the update. Either they scrap the purchase limit in general, because personally I feel that the problem that they were trying to address with doing this is not as prevalent anymore, so it's not needed as much. Or they do what they have with Rose and Ernest and they make it level based. So, what am I? I'm level 115, so what's my Rose and Ernest limit? I think it's like 120 or something products that they can hold, and it increases with your level. So they could do the same thing here with the purchase limit. I'm level 115, they could increase it like every 20 levels. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, etc. So I'm 115. They could have me on, 100 or 120 upgrade items per day. Because this 80 purchase limit, it drives me absolutely crazy, and it takes so long to upgrade barn and silo, not to mention all the things you need for the town as well. And when they keep adding in new products, my barn is not big enough. I can't hold all these products. And when you have a full barn, you can't play the game. It just makes it really unproductive when, you're at this bottleneck of you need the expansion materials, but they take up so much room in your barn, or you can't hold them because your barn is full of all the products that you need, because there are so many products in the game now. It creates this massive bottleneck that prevents you from being able to play the game. So my suggestion, Heyday, either scrap the limit altogether, because as far as I'm concerned it's not needed anymore, or make it level based. The next quality of life update I would like to see, which I think would be very beneficial considering the amount of new products we keep getting and the demand for items, the demand for sugars, the demand for dairy products. I can barely keep up with it, and I only have one sugar mill. So they did add that second sugar mill, which I think is fantastic. I think that's great. I have not purchased it yet because I have other machines I would like to buy first. But I do think that having that second sugar mill definitely helps with these products. However, the dairy, it's a little bit more challenging because you're limited with the cows, the milk, and the time that it takes to produce these products. So many products now require all these sugar and all these dairy items. So, people have been requesting a second dairy. If we had a second dairy, we would need more cows, which would then put the rest of the animals out of balance. If you use Rose and Ernest productively, Rose can act as your second dairy. If you manage them well enough, they can hold enough products for you to be able to still produce items. Now, I know that everyone doesn't use Rose and Ernest, doesn't want to spend diamonds, can't afford to spend diamonds. There's a whole bunch of reasons. I don't spend diamonds on them. That's the wrong tab. I use my accumulation of Rose and Ernest boosters, and I still have quite a lot here that I haven't used yet for Rose and Ernest. So, my suggestion, Heyday, is because they have said numerous times they will not be giving us a secondary, which I understand why. Here's an idea. Reduce the time taken on the dairy products. Now, my dairy is fully mastered, so cream takes 17 minutes, butter 25, cheese 51, and goat cheese an hour and 16 minutes. I believe if Heyday reduced the time taken to produce these products, it would make it a lot easier for us to keep up with demand and keep up with being able to actually produce all the products that require these items. If they reduce them, say, by even like 5 minutes, like the real pain in the backside is the cheese and the goat's cheese. If they made goat's cheese to at least like under 1 hour or even 1 hour at a minimum, and maybe made cheese to like 30-35 minutes, say cream to like 10 minutes and butter like 20, even just reducing the time of these products by a couple of minutes, I think would make a huge difference. What I tend to do is have my cream and my butter going during the day because they're shorter, and then I either will put cheese or goat's cheese on overnight because it takes longer. But I think if Heyday reduced the time taken to make these products, even the sugar as well, particularly the syrup. Syrup is another bottleneck. Brown sugar is 17. Like, even just reduce these by like a couple of minutes, I think would make a huge difference towards people's production and then being able to produce all the items that require these products. We have boosters for a range of things. We have boosters that reduce the time for crops. We have boosters that reduce the time for trees. We have boosters that reduce the time for machines. We do not, however, have boosters that reduce the time for animals. Now, the chickens, not so bad. They only take 20 minutes. The cows are an hour. Pigs, sheep, and goats obviously take a lot longer. I wonder if Heyday would ever make a booster that reduces the time on the animals. And I think if they did that, like had a booster that reduces the time on the animals, plus reducing the time it takes to make the dairy and the sugar products, I think would help with people's production. Because half the trouble is like I'm waiting to get the milk every hour and then have to produce it. So like waiting for the milk creates a bottleneck and then I run out of it so quickly. But if we had it so that there was a booster that reduced the time, maybe like cut it in half or even like a third of the time, just means that the animal products would be produced more quickly, therefore we would be able to constantly keep the machines filled. Now again, I understand that Heyday is a management game, and that's kind of the point, is you need to manage the game, but the demand for these products is just absolutely through the roof with each update, and it just gets harder and harder and harder to keep track of everything and keep stock of the products. I think that change needs to be made, whether it's a booster, whether it's reducing the time on these products, whether it's both, whether it's some other idea that Heyday might have to make it easier to manage. Whatever it is would be beneficial, and I'll take it. Kind of hand in hand with that is the crops. Now, we have so many crops now. If I go and take a look at my silo, at all these crops, now that includes the fruit trees and bushes, but there are like 6 or 7 pages of crops now. We just got a new crop in this update. And yet, with all these crops we're getting, Heyday has not increased the amount of fields we get. Currently, we get 1 field every second level. So I don't get a field when I level up next, but I'll get one for level 117. So it's every odd level you get a field. 1 field is really not a lot in the grand scheme of things. I think the least they could do is give us 1 field every level, because we have that many crops ranging from 2 minutes to like 8 hours with the strawberries, and we need a lot of them to make all of these products that they keep giving us. Now, I don't know about you, but my silo is nearly always full. And when they keep adding new crops, but they're not balancing it out with the fields that they're giving us, it makes it really tricky. Like, my crops are often very low because I just don't have the space. So I think the least Heyday could do is make it so that they give us a new field with every level. And I know that we have the crop boosters and like the crop reduction time events, which is, it's nice, but I think more fields would be the main solution to that problem. Another thing, we have this wonderful search bar, which is very handy, particularly for the decoration tab. However, I don't know about you, but I do most of my decorating in edit mode. And the search bar is not in edit mode. If Heyday could add the search bar in edit mode, it would make life so much easier, because trying to find decorations in edit mode and still having to scroll all the way down to find them is a real pain in the backside. I can say, speak for the majority of us when I say most people decorate using the edit mode, because it's just a lot easier with the paintbrush and the erase mode and everything like that. So moving the search bar into edit mode, I feel, is definitely a doable thing, and it makes sense. So, Heyday, please, kindly, bring us the search bar. It's a wonderful feature, but we need it in edit mode so we can decorate. And the last thing that I have a bone to pick with Heyday about is the allocation of puzzle pieces. Now, I do not have a lot of sanctuary animals. I am working on collecting my puzzle pieces. Now, the problem is that once again, Heyday keeps adding new animals every update, and just when I start to feel that I'm catching up, I'm falling more and more behind, because they add like 2 sanctuary animals every update. And there you go, one of my puzzle pieces went straight to a penguin. Now, this is the bone I have to pick. I want you to take a look at my puzzle book. I am technically up to the reindeers. I've got every animal up to the reindeers. Now, I have puzzle pieces going to the reindeer, the cheetah, the fox, the walrus, the meerkat, and the penguin. Heyday, please change this so that all puzzle pieces go towards one animal at a time. All my puzzle pieces should be going towards my one reindeer. Then when my one reindeer is finished, they go towards the next reindeer, and so on and so forth. But when I have puzzle pieces going to 5 or 6 animals, no wonder it's taking me 10 years to complete my puzzle book. I'm going to be here for another 50 years at this rate. It's going to take me that long to catch up and complete this book when all the puzzle pieces are going to so many different animals. It drives me crazy. Heyday, this is impossible, and you keep adding new animals. It's impossible for me to fill this book. I'm going to be here till, the end of the earth at this rate. So please, Heyday, change this so that all the puzzle pieces are allocated to one animal at a time. Then when that animal's finished, you move on to the next one because it'll make it a lot easier for me to complete my puzzle book. So, those are the main bones I have to pick with Heyday. They are changes that I would like to see made in the game at some point in the near future. I know that Heyday plan their updates in advance. I'm sure that this is not news to them. We have been telling them this for months, even years, not just me, the community and other content creators. Please listen, Heyday. Listen to what we are telling you. The way the game is going, I'm losing my enjoyment for the game, and that is honestly so sad. I don't want to lose my enjoyment for the game. I love this game, but I think that they really need to focus on quality of life changes rather than keeping on adding, the same thing every update, which is just making it harder and harder to love this game. Make some quality of life changes, make it more enjoyable, make it more manageable, and then, maybe people will be a lot happier, myself included. So those are the main changes that are a priority for me that I would like to see in the game that will help make it more enjoyable and more manageable. And like I said, I know it's a management game, but at the rate they're going with every update, it's getting a bit ridiculous. It's too much. Like, they need to know when enough is enough. So, Heyday, if you ever watch this, please listen. Please hear us. Hear what we are saying. I would love to see, every second update be a quality of life update. I think it would make it more achievable, more manageable, give us more time to save money, to upgrade our barn and our silo so that we can manage these new products and crops and animals. But yeah, those are changes I would really like to see. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, changes you would like to see, whether you agree, whether you disagree, any other suggestions, in the hope that maybe, just maybe, Heyday might see this video. So thank you all for watching and listening and tuning in. And I will see you for some more exciting videos. Keep your eyes out very soon. Bye for now.